Welcome to Vibrant Living Conversations. I'm your host, Gemma Putty. I'm so excited to be bringing more conversations from North Idaho and across this region to support us all in glowing from the inside out by connecting more deeply to ourselves, our earth, and our communities. For today's interview, I am talking with Monica and Jennifer, the powerhouse female team behind the Wellness Bar and North Idaho Wellness Magazine. I'm thrilled to have them here to understand their passion and vision for wellness in North Idaho and how they stay balanced in their own lives. So welcome both. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. We're really honored.
Yay. Let's dive in. So your story of getting into the wellness industry, I just learned in our pre-conversation that wasn't even starting in the Wellness Bar. That was another way. So I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, so I was working as a graphic designer at a company called Digital Lizard, and I had my side job, which was teaching fitness at local gyms. And we were really wanting to get more members in our gym. And so I started doing these little health and wellness fairs where I'd bring local businesses that were into health and wellness, massage therapists, essential oils. So it started off really small inside this gym called 360 Fitness. And from there, it just sparked this whole interest of having a larger community base of health and wellness options. And so from that point of having like 30 vendors, it went to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80. And so I started kind of hosting these wellness fairs alongside of teaching fitness classes. And then I just had this aha moment of, wait, we need a magazine. Like my background's in marketing and graphic design. So I was like, it'd be really cool to bring a local magazine that kind of focuses on health and wellness and balance, because we had nothing like that here at all in North Idaho.
What year was that? When was it that you first started the fairs?
That was 2012 was the magazine. And then on top of it, it just kind of folded like, wait, it'd be really cool to have a place where everyone could come after fitness classes and drink a smoothie and read the magazine and like be with like-minded people. Right. And so I just said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I hiked up Mineral Ridge and I had this aha moment and I said, I'm just going to take the leap of faith. And I put all my savings into it and I opened it up in 2014 and I worked 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and 8 years later, we're here with 4 locations, a food truck, and all of it.
Where was the first location?
The first location is our downtown location. It's our flagship store. It's on 4th Street.
Right.
Just up from Sherman Avenue, across from CrossFit CDA. And so that was perfect. When I was looking for a place to be, I was like, I need to kind of be in the nook of where health-minded people are. And so being across the street from CrossFit was perfect at the beginning. It like made total sense. Like all the athletes came over, they made their own protein shakes. We had avocado toast, all that stuff. So it was like perfect. So it was fun to really feed the athletes at the beginning. And then after time, it was like, boom, 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 the word got out. So it's been fun. And then 2 years later, we opened up our Hayden location. And then a year later, we did Post Falls. And then it's just kind of gone from there.
Amazing. Yeah. So Jennifer, when did you join the team?
I have known Monica since
we were pregnant.
2012. We were pregnant together with our sons. And in 2018, when my son went to school full time, I was like, I don't know what to do with my time now. So I called her and I was like, hey, like, can I just help like a couple days a week? And I started 3 days a week just working at the downtown store. And then 2 months later, she was like, hey, I really want you to manage it. It needs some help. So I managed for a year. And then I've been up here doing marketing and human resources since 2019. And we brought back the magazine from its little nap 2 years ago together. Yeah, I took a nap. But 2 years ago, we were out having a drink and I was like, what if we brought the magazine back?
And I was like, what if we did?
and then we did. So,
yeah. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. Okay. So 2012, wellness in North Idaho in general, like I think when I think of wellness, of course, I think of you guys, I think of Pilgrims, right?
Yeah.
Like that's really the two anchors for it. So what was like the community's feedback when you started? The fairs obviously were a huge hit. The wellness bar, obviously now you have 4 locations, but I'm just curious in those first days, like what were you hearing and just how exciting was it?
So it was kind of a really what people call a pipe dream. I came up with this like mock magazine. Like I was literally selling air. And actually Joe from Pilgrims was one of our first advertisers because he is already in the vision of health and wellness. And so he was one of our first advertisers. And then I was literally taking around these like printed pieces of paper. Like I promise it's going to be the coolest magazine ever. And there wasn't a whole lot of advertising. And so that's kind of that first year was just really, really at the bottom of the barrel trying to get everybody on board. And then after we did, it was like, okay, not only did we have our light bulb moment, a lot of other people did. And it was just, knowledge is power. So it was this awesome free tool for all of our readers to have. And they got to see what's locally around here. All of our articles, all of the advertising is here in our community. It's only Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint at the furthest, but it's our little nook, You're not going to go something down in California. That doesn't make sense. It's here, like who are our local providers here? Where's the knowledge? What makes sense here, So it was hard to kind of convince people of it at the beginning, but it was really cool to be one of the top people to pave the way because now it's like everywhere, which is awesome.
I love it. And so I'm interested, like I'm in way earlier stages of building a business than you are, Monica, but you obviously had this vision, passion, belief, like there was nothing, you were taking no. So I'm just curious, like how your personal journey has even evolved on that to being like, I just knew I just knew it was needed. And I was just not stopping.
Yeah. Well, what you said is like, we don't take no for an answer. Like I'm not a no person, which hurts my marriage sometimes because my husband and I finding a balance. He's like, no, let's take it easy. And I'm like, yes. But I just took the chance. I knew, really it was low risk. I had really low overhead for the wellness bar at the beginning. It was like me and then my rent. At that point. And so if it wasn't going to work out, I knew it would be okay. I knew I could pivot. I have a lot of confidence in that aspect. And so I wasn't too scared about that. The magazine too. People just jumped on board. They saw how amazing it was and everything being local and seeing one of their doctors or nurses write an article and being like, wait, oh my gosh, I know them. I know Northwest Specialty Hospital, like that type of stuff. Like it's just been amazing. It's been amazing. And so for me is like that leap of faith. Like I tell some of my business clients is just do it, make it minimal risk, try it. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. You pivot and it's totally going to be worth it. You'll learn. And then if it's not a failure and you don't have to pivot, then you thrive, you go, right? And then you grow, whether it's from the roots or you expand. Like there was a while where we've been really with the wellness bars, like growing from our roots. And now we're at expansion mode, right? We are boom, boom, boom. And that's kind of, there's different ways to grow. And sometimes there's a time to just kind of like, let it set in,
We always say fail forward. Mm-hmm. So it's not like there's never been a mistake or we've never done something that in hindsight maybe was not our best choice, but we have to fail forward. So how do we learn from the failure?
Right, exactly.
I love it. So have you gathered your business sense literally from failing, learning? How else do you, I guess, I'm just a huge like self-help guru. So whether it's coaching or reading books, or is there a go-to resource that's inspired you along the way or at certain times?
I've definitely had a lot of friends that I've leaned on, a lot of people who've already had their businesses. But really we take it day by day. Like even yesterday was a huge growing point for us with just certain circumstances that come up. And it's like, you go through it and then you grow. Like she says, you fail forward. And that's kind of how we've gone. And we're going into our 8th year. And it's like, I never thought it would be like this. I thought maybe I would still be running the downtown store and just me and like a couple people. Yeah. And it's so different. People ask me all the time, did you imagine it would be this? And the answer is no. Did I dream it? Yes. but did the hard work go into it? It still does. It still does. Yeah. So, but then we've also along the way, I've had, you know, my husband's a huge part of the business. You know, I have such a great crew. My corporate team, my leadership team is awesome. We brought on a new guy, Mason Lopez. He has changed everything for us in the last 6 months. Terry Gurno is my business coach. He is amazing. Yeah, we love Terry. And we just lean on the people who are our people. I mean, it does, like everyone says, since the dawn of time, it takes a village. It really does. Like, we don't just sit here and think we know all the answers. We don't, you know. I always say I'm going to be the least smartest person in the room because the rest of my people are smart and they will tell me like, this isn't working, Monica, or let's try it this way, or have you ever thought of this? And that's how you grow. That's how you evolve. You know, we can't sit stagnant, especially in our time frame right now. Everything going on, like you have to pivot and evolve or else you're not going to make it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, to say that, I mean, we're coming out of COVID. Finally, I went to Washington the other day and I didn't have to wear a mask. I'm like, is it real? Is it, you know?
Yeah.
But exactly. How was your experience through that? Because obviously all 4 stores are still open and
yeah, and they're really thriving and they really continue to thrive. And it was such a blessing. And we were so grateful for that. What I think really helped us out was that we were of health and wellness. You know,
we're essential.
We're essential. We are offering healthy, for the most part, plant-based items. And it was something that people were really gravitating to, you know, I mean, a lot of with COVID and everything, we weren't talking about how much nutrition changes lives, how much taking care of yourself on the preventative measures. Like that's why I started the magazine was what can I do now before I get to be really sick?
Yeah.
You know, kind of the preventative. So I think that really helped us through COVID. And then we just followed everything on the CDC guidelines. We did everything we could. We worked with Panhandle almost weekly, trying to figure out what do we do now? What's going to be best for the community? And we just stuck to our guns. We just did what was best for who we are. I wanted to keep our doors open, keep our employees safe. And we did what we, you know, had to get through it. And I'm glad to see a light at the end of the tunnel, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to change tomorrow or next week. Mm-hmm. But now we kind of have our bearings down and we can figure it out, right? Like we'll get through it again if it comes to be another surge or something.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, and even with 2 of your stores having drive-throughs and then the truck, right? You have like unique opportunities for people to be able to reach you without directly reaching you.
Yes. And we did curbside for a lot of the time. We also now are on DoorDash. So you can order all of it and get it directly delivered to your doorstep. Like there's no excuses for not eating healthy.
I love this.
Like it's balanced too. Like we're not going and preaching, you know, X, Y, and Z. It's all about balance, you know, because we love a good glass of wine.
Right. Yeah.
We need a DoorDash one right now. So it's good balance, you know. So it's really fun to have a place where people can really rely on for the times that they're deciding to come and eat healthy. We're really happy.
I love it. We're totally freestyling these questions. So sorry.
That's okay. Okay. That's the story of my life.
Like any good conversation, right? Like, where are we going next? I'm curious about your menu because I know even just in the time I've been in Coeur d'Alene 5 years, I've been visiting Coeur d'Alene for 8 years plus. But I know even in that time, like you've got salads, you've got bowls, like how I love food and creating and the colors. So I feel like that would be the most fun part to me. It's like, how are you coming up with your different menu items? And
it's amazing. So really it's what you hear all the time, taste the rainbow. Like everything in our store is colorful. Just the planet's Earth is so amazing with all the colors. Like our dragon fruit is bright pink. We have our kiwi, raspberries, blackberries. Everything is so vibrant and healthy. It's beautiful. It's fun to play around. But we also have a set menu that is like what the customers have loved. They don't like to veer off too much from all of that. But we have protein waffles now. We've had that for a couple of years. They're vegan and they're gluten-free. We kind of have an option for really everybody.
Yeah. We can really, if you have an allergy, aside from nuts, we can probably make you something that is safe and good for you.
Right. So. Exactly. And so there's everything and we customize all of it. So if you want to change up your smoothie, you want to build your own smoothie, if you want less sugar, if you're doing keto, if you're doing any of that type of stuff, there's something to eat at the wellness bar. So that's what's really encouraging, you know? So, and then if you don't want like something based off of keto or anything like that, our whole menu, you could just pick anything from it. Our top seller is the acai bowls, which are so amazing. And when I first started, we didn't have those when I first started downtown. And then my husband and I went to Hawaii and we were like bouncing around all the juice bars. And this awesome guy was like, let me whip you up an acai bowl. You're going to love it. And like the minute we had it, we were like, we got to do it. This is it. This is it. And I was like, I'm bringing this back. We're bringing acai bowls to North Idaho. And that was just a huge game changer. It really was. I mean, the acai berry is chock full of antioxidants. It's so good. It's like an energy bowl after you eat it. It's just so.
What is the actual base of it? Like, I've never actually stopped to ask this. So it's the acai in what?
Yeah. Yeah. So the acai berry from Brazil, we get it flown in, shipped in, and it just comes in little packets and we blend it with a little bit of banana. We have a lot of people who blend it with avocado,
coconut milk, almond milk.
Yeah, you can really get it any way that you want it, but that's it.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Powders, no sugar, no
added fruits,
no
blended.
yuckies. Yeah, just
we have people from New York.
Can I dash while we're talking?
Like, we've never had acai like this before, and I'm like, well, it's 2 ingredients.
Yeah,
that's all it is. You don't add any fluff. There's nothing.
So what's each of your go-tos? Like if you're going to go into the wellness bar and like this is my fave, is there one? I mean, your menu's huge, so I don't know that I could say that.
It is big. I like to mix it up for sure, but I on the daily have one of our leafy to-go salads always. Like whether I bring it home and add chicken on it, or if I eat it at one of the stores, I have, some protein. You can add hard-boiled egg, avocado on it. I love our avocado toast. It's like to die for. The hearty.
So good. Yeah. And right now, because I'm running so much, like leaving work, and then my son's in baseball, so it's baseball 24/7 at my house right now. I am a big smoothie drinker. I love the morning date. I always put spinach and vanilla plant protein in mine because I can't do dairy, but that keeps me full until I can eat dinner after work. So
we have all sorts of protein. We have plant-based protein. We have whey protein. We have collagen protein. Now that kind of we're through the COVID thing, people can add their own proteins if they're really like specific about what they want.
Right.
So it's really the sky's the limit with our menu. Like there's a starting point and then you can change it. We can create something for you. Like our Hayden crew is so awesome. They're always like, you should try this. It's so amazing, And it's just fun. I mean, eating healthy can be fun. It really can. And there are so much to choose from. And so, like you said, our menu is big.
Well, I love it because you're helping change the narrative about that. Like this thought that like healthy eating is not fun. I just don't understand that. I'm like, it's colorful, it's delicious, it's refreshing. You feel good after you eat it, right? Like
100%. We do have a really cool thing coming up. So as most people know in our town, Appleway is like a mile long of fast food, unhealthy places to go. I mean, it is just smothered with fast food. So we actually are building out our 4th location on Appleway. Yeah, I know. The drive-through. It's right at the end, almost at 4th Street in Appleway. We're right across the street from Wendy's. And so we're going to be in this beautiful new complex. One of our top customers, Chad Oakland, is building it. And so he asked us to be part of it. And we're really, really excited. So
that's amazing. Congratulations.
We're going to take Appleway by storm. Yep. There's got to be a healthy option on Appleway, and we're going to be it. So we're excited. We're hoping to open by the end of this summer. So August, September at the latest. Yep. Yeah.
That is super exciting. Wow. Well, this is good to like, let's leap into maybe then your vision even for, okay, you've got this other store coming. I know that you've got a wellness fair coming up. I'm going to be out of town. I'm so sad about it. But like, what's your vision beyond like into the end of the year and the future for both businesses, really?
I think for us, we're just going to keep on trucking. I mean, there's really no like huge plan. It's, we're going to open up Appleway. We have one we're building out by Rathdrum that's out there on the prairie. So we're hoping to have that one be our 5th location. Wow. And really, like we talked about before, we're kind of growing from our roots too. I mean, systematically, what worked for us 3 to 4 years ago, it just doesn't now. We're so big. Our town, like you can't even call our town a town. It's a city now. Like there's so many people, so much traffic. So systematically, with all of our locations, we have to pivot and like kind of create new norms. Like what's the new normal? Like we are up 30% than we were last year. So what does that mean for us? How do we make it smoother? How do we make it a better experience for the customers and our employees and all of that? Because the more our city grows, the more we have to grow internally. And what does that look like to the consumer? So I think right now we're just really trying to figure all of that out. So that's kind of our future. It's like you have to trust your system, you have to trust the process, and then people will continue coming, you know? So
yeah, no, I love it. Well, and you're obviously surrounding yourself by great people. You've got like a very like heart-centered passion. Yeah. And just chipping away at like the opportunities that are also coming. Like you're just in such a creative and needed industry, right? More,
and that's the fun part of it is like I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I've been an athlete literally since I was tiny. So really that has fueled everything, like my business mind, my graphic design, but like the nutrition side of it, like I lean on nutritionists. We have AIM Nutrition, we have Carly Snyder. I mean, we have a bunch of people that we rely on if we're like, hey, can we pick your brain? Or, hey, this is who I suggest you go to. With customers come in and they ask us these questions and I'm like, oh,
we're not nutritionists.
I'm like, but I have somebody. I know somebody that can help you, you know, like we have people come in and is keto right for me? What do you have that's keto? And it's like, that is not in our wheelhouse, but we have people because of the magazine, because of the wellness fairs, because of our town, we have somebody that we can guide our customers to, you know? And so it's really, really awesome. I mean, even when I was an athlete, super young, we never talked about nutrition. We never did. It's like you would go to Wendy's or Subway.
Literally after practice.
Yeah. Or like a double header. We would go up to Sandpoint for softball and we're having a double header and I like crushed a foot long from Subway with soda and chips. And it's like, you never thought about it. You just didn't, right? And now it's really cool to see our young kids really dive into that. Like, and I think social media helps it a little bit. I mean, we never had that. Now it's like a plethora of what's healthy, what's not, this, that, and the other. And it's like, no one talked about that when we were young. I mean, I never thought of fueling my body with quinoa and chicken breast before my softball games. That sounds ridiculous. Yeah. When I'm 14 or 15.
Carb loading, right? Like tons of carb. And I'm like, about it. And I'm like, ew.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really cool to see everything kind of have this awesome shift to the younger generations really learning what it takes to fuel your body, especially, you know, in an athletic mode. So it's really quite cool.
I'm curious, so getting like on a personal sense, like you started this business when you had, I mean, you were pregnant when you met Jennifer. So it was like, how is this, I guess I'm curious as a mom, like you're doing all the things. You're not just like starting thriving businesses. You're doing all the things. So how has it shaped like how your family, your kids see food, and then your lives just in general in the wellness front?
Yeah, I think for me, it was really just trying to find a balance just in everything, from being a parent, a wife, a business owner. It really took a lot of mindful like pauses where you're like, okay, I'm working really hard on the business, but is my family, are they okay?
Yeah.
So you really have to do those check-ins, you know, like my husband, hey, everything good? What's going on? Is everything good, you know, with the kids and then with yourself too? I mean, it's hard to juggle all the things. And there's this stigma too right now. It's that hustler mentality. It's been there for, I don't know, quite a few years now.
Yeah.
Really since Instagram has kind of hit there. It's a platform where people are like, I do more than you. Look at everything that I do. And it's like, that is going to take us to depletion. Like, it's just not. And so I've always kind of had a sense of, okay, how do I balance this out? What do I do? Has my family and parenting and being a wife probably been at a hinder for a little bit sometimes, because sometimes the business is so demanding that you do have to apologize, like, hey kids, I'm so sorry, mom has to work this weekend. I promise, da, 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 da. But now that it's grown and like the wheels are really moving, I do have a lot more time with them. I do have a lot more time to go golf with my husband. Like, there's things now that are thriving, and it's like you find that balance and that shift. So any new mom who starts a business, as long as you just do those check-ins and really try to balance it out, I think it's amazing.
Boundaries, I think, is a big thing that I've learned maybe the last couple of years, especially since we started the magazine. I feel like we were like head first.
Nothing stopping us.
We're not looking at, we had tunnel vision. And now there's definitely weekends. The weekend before the magazine goes to the printer, Monica and I are generally in this office for 10 hours on a Saturday, like trying to get it all done, trying to get it in. So we joke it's like giving birth every other month to a baby. But that magazine goes to the printer, and we have 3 or 4 days where there's like not a lot and things are a little quiet, and we can both be like, hey, I'm not answering my phone for like a day or two, and I'm just going to hang out with my kids or with my husband, or I'm going to just take a nap.
But it is so rewarding, like all of it. For the wellness bar, like we sponsor so many athletic teams, soccer, everything, like basketball, baseball, you name it. And so for my kids to say we own the wellness bar, and they're wearing the jerseys of the wellness bar, and they see how much the wellness bar has helped the community and eating healthy, and the boys, the whole thing is smoothies. They love the smoothies. And it's just cool to see their little faces light up, like how they have so much pride. And that for me is worth it all.
I love
everything, all of it. And even the magazine, like we bring it home and our kids read it, and it's just so cute. Like Jackson will read it. It's like the cutest thing.
Yeah, it's really cute.
It really does make it worth it on those hard days.
Yes.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
Well, and I love though the example that you're also setting for your kids, and like owning this passion. And I think not a lot, I don't mean to generalize, but it's easy for a mom to be like, I'm raising my kids and I'll put myself on hold in all of the ways until my kid is XYZ age, right? And I'm like, I love that you're like, this is what's important to me. My kids are there, but like, I feel the same where I'm like, I have to show up for myself. I still have to follow my passions because I want my kids to see that, because I want to be full as I'm living this life, as I'm parenting, right? Like,
well, there is no, there's no pause button. We're not going to push pause on ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. I'm not going to be the best mom that I could be if I'm pausing and stopping. I work out 4 days a week. I go and see my friends as much as I can. I still play softball. I golf. It's like, I'm going to be the best version of me. And then I'm going to be the best parent because I'm still taking care of myself. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to stop that. And then that's the thing, is I don't want them to see that. I don't want them to ever stop for any reason. And that's the thing. We include them on everything. Like, my boys go with me golfing. Like, it's just so fun. I'm not going to pause. There's certain circumstances that moms do need to do that. That's totally understandable.
Right.
But for me, I just know I am a better mom when I'm balanced.
I completely agree. Yeah. In these ways.
I think for me, it's my son's 8. So he's almost 9. I have probably 10 years left that he's going to be at home. He's our only child. And I don't want to push pause at 36 and be 46 when he leaves and go, okay, now what? What do I do now? I have nothing. I've built nothing. I'm just a mom. That's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I completely hear you. Yeah. And each to their own, right? But yeah.
And literally, like, I just turned 40, and it's just like, I'm still on cloud 9. Like, 40 is the new
40 is the new 20.
Yeah. That's what I'm telling myself. I feel slowing me down. I look at J-Lo and I'm like, she's 50 something. Okay, we're good.
It's all a mindset though, right? Like, when you're living life, when you're doing what you love, when you're passionate about like all of the things and the people you're surrounded by, like, it is like this fountain of youth that you're like, try to stop me, try.
Yeah, exactly. And for all the stay-at-home moms too, like even just everything they're doing to keep it pulled together.
That's a full-time job too.
That is a full-time job.
I've done it. It's a full-time job.
You know, I had a choice. I could stay home and be a stay-at-home mom, or I could do what I'm doing now. And that was the choice. But if I would have chosen being a stay-at-home mom, I would have, like, when they do the nap times, take care of yourself. If you need a nap, take a nap. If you want to DoorDash a smoothie, DoorDash a smoothie. You know, it's like, we give props to the stay-at-home moms.
God,
like,
it's not, I've done it. It's not easy.
No.
It's the hardest job in the whole world.
I know. My girlfriend right now, she has 3 kids under 6, under 5. None of them are even in school yet. And I'm like, I have to deal with 58 employees. I'd rather deal with the 58 employees than 3 littles, like, all at the same time. Like,
no, I totally hear you. So I know you have the wellness fair coming up. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's coming up in May.
May 11th.
We haven't had it for how long?
2 years. A little over 2 years.
Yeah. So we had to push it on hold for just a couple of years, and now we're back. And so it's gonna be so huge. We're having it at the fairgrounds, which is great because it's centrally located. There's so much space. There's so much parking.
Parking was our biggest struggle.
Yeah.
But in the past. And so now this year to have so much parking, it's like,
It's gonna be amazing.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Less parking.
And then we have 100 booths. So we have 100 local health and wellness booths. And so you get to just walk around and learn everything that's here in our community. Who are the people that can help support you and whatever your goals are, whatever that looks like. And so it's going to be really amazing. I mean, we have everybody from nurse practitioners to massage therapists to spa owners, to
Gyms, yoga studios,
triathletes, all that
kids
type of-
gyms, like
IV hydration people. It's
Amazing.
just, it's amazing. Yeah. So
And what day is it?
It is on
Wednesday, May 11th.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Cool. Thanks.
I know.
That is
Yes.
super-
So we're really excited about it. And it's just awesome to be in a whole entire setting with everyone who is, for the most part, like-minded. And for those who are like trying to take their first step forward to learning what's out there, to get back on track, or to try to lose weight, or try to figure out their adrenal fatigue, or whatever it may be, it's like so inspiring to see them have little aha moments like everywhere they go. Like there's 100 booths. There's so much to learn. Yeah, it's so cool.
That is super awesome. Yeah, perfect. What was I? Oh, I just had my question. Oh, a day in the life. I mean, I'm sure this changes for you completely, but I am so curious. Like
Literally every day.
Oh, yeah. There's not too much consistency really right now. Like the rest of our community, and probably I think the United States, we're really dealing with like a staff shortage, kind of all the things. And so we're kind of bouncing around to all locations. We have 3 locations along with the corporate warehouse, our offices, which we're in right now. It's where we produce all the cool pressed juices, salads, quinoa bowls, protein balls, protein waffles. Everything happens underneath the corporate warehouse. So for the most part, we're here Monday through Friday, but Monday through Sunday, it could be anything different. She goes to the downtown location, Post Falls. We kind of go and fill in if there's any gaps, if people are sick, or if we have no-shows, or it's hard with 58 employees. Not everyone's on the same page. Some people don't feel good. Some people, you know, had someone pass away, or, I mean, it's a lot when you have 4 huge locations. And so we're kind of bebopping everywhere.
Yeah. Some weeks we see each other every day. We have like meetings all day long. And then there's other weeks where we hardly see each other at all.
Yeah.
Because she's in a store, I'm in a store.
Yeah, the month of August was insane.
We didn't see each other at all.
Ever. And that was when we were in the crisis. Our whole community was in the crisis of staff shortage. There was nobody, you know, and it was just, and everyone was like taking employees from each other. It was just like this chaos. And so we literally, I mean, we had to close our stores sometimes.
Yeah.
We didn't have enough people. And so August was crazy. So we literally say we never want to have an August again. It was just so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And really, everything's like coming back into like smooth motion now, which is good. So we might have a consistency
coming up, maybe. Knock on wood.
I feel like you two maybe thrive on non-consistency.
Well, I mean, there is a bit of, I don't know what they call it, but the chaos sometimes keeps you going, keeps that fire in you a little bit. But as Terry Gurno would say, my business coach, he gets me away from that. The chaos does not breed productivity. So that's really
that's also where I think you and I balance each other.
Yeah.
Because Monica's a jumper. Like, she's like, we're going to do it. And I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. And I am like a type A planner. I'm like, okay, but how are we going to do it? It doesn't matter. We're going to do it. So she makes me brave, I think.
And she makes me settle down.
This is the perfect team. I love it.
And we have such a great crew with us too. Betsy, our operations manager, she's awesome. Right now she's filling in at our Hayden location as like a store manager. We have Mason now on board. We have my husband. We have a really good crew that just helps us do all the things. You know, it really does take a village, and it's really fun.
It's so fun to hear the story behind it too. Just, I mean, you can say you've got that many locations in your food truck, but then you're like, yeah, 58 staff people, and you're doing a magazine as well. You two are amazing. I just love this. Yeah.
It's a lot, but we used to say we take it day by day, but it's hour by hour. You know, we take the kids to school, we drop them off at 9 o'clock, and then we get to work, and then it's literally hour by hour. What can we do in this hour? What can we do? And then we're off at 3. We go pick up our kids.
And we gotta go be mamas. Yep.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Hour by hour. It's not even day by day anymore.
I get it. Mom life, hashtag, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that I've missed?
I think that's about it. I mean, one thing I do want to touch on is our customers, like when we talk about getting to this stage with the wellness bar and the wellness fair and the magazine, it would not even happen without people trusting us, without them loving the product, loving coming and seeing us. Mm-hmm. It's like we wouldn't be here without them, without our community. And it's so cool to see from my first year open downtown to having all these athletes, they are like in shape, and they come in and they trusted like me making them food that they were fueling their bodies with. It's like from day one when I opened, it's just amazing. And to see it go from a couple customers a day to where we're at now, I'm just so grateful. I have such a grateful heart for this whole community. And I just love that I can bring this to where I grew up, you know?
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So I think we're just every day grateful, you know?
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads to, I always like to end with who in our community inspires you. So obviously your customers, but are there a couple other key businesses, organizations that inspire you?
I think anyone running a small business, big business right now, they are inspiration. Yeah. It's the toughest times right now. This year has been so difficult. In all the years that I've ran my own little entrepreneurial businesses, it's like anybody pushing through all the stuff that we've dealt with the last couple of years, that's inspiring. And whatever category it is, whether you own a brewery, whether the gal across from us, the winery, it's like there is so much to a business that a lot of times customers don't see or they don't really think about. So to push through some of the negativity that's happened in this last year, every business owner knows how tough it is, and they are inspiration in any category, you know, right. And our nurses. I mean, we love our nurses at Kootenai and North Idaho or Northwest Specialty. It's like they have been our inspiration too, is that if they can keep on pushing through all of this, we can too, you know? So
I think I'm a big believer in like women empowerment. That's actually our next issue of the magazine is all about women in business and women empowerment. And we have the coolest stories, like the 3 new owners of Cycle Bar are all moms. Yeah. Casey, one of them, is also a nurse too. Like she's a rock star. They are so amazing to me that they are running a business, teaching cycle bar classes, and then she goes to the hospital, and then she goes
And she's
home
a mom.
as a mom.
Yeah.
So
Talk about doing all the things.
That to me is what motivates me to like, okay, I can put my son to bed and then maybe I can work on this article for another hour or so.
Right.
Because if she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. So
Our community is just awesome. We have such a beautiful and amazing community. I mean, I grew up here. I graduated from Lake City High School back in '99. And it's like to see it thrive the way that it is, like, it's just so beautiful and amazing. And we're just so grateful to be part of it in whatever way that looks like. And it's really exciting to be able to bring healthy, product and events and a magazine to this beautiful community.
I love it. Yeah, you ladies are amazing. And I'm so excited for the things you continue to do in this community. You're an inspiration for sure.
Well,
thank you so much
for
for
this podcast.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration too.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.